Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ostomy and IBD Life. I'm your host, Elaine O'Rourke, and this is where we get to talk about everything to do with ostomies, Crohn's, colitis, and health in general. So thanks for tuning in. And as a reminder, if you are watching right now, we love to get comments. Questions are always appreciated as well. And letting me know where you're tuning in from and all of that jazz. So I'm so thrilled tonight because this organization, Girls with Guts, is near and dear to my heart. I got involved with them in 2019. I was their guest speaker on the retreat about intimacy, and also have taught yoga at their virtual and in-person retreats. And they're just a pleasure, and they do so much amazing work. So tonight my guest is Alicia Aiello. And she is the president, and I don't know where this girl gets the energy to do everything that she does. So I am thrilled that she is taking time out of her schedule to talk with us and to also, let you know about all this amazing work that they do. So just a couple of things. If you are watching on Facebook, if you could follow me over on Ostomy&IBDlife, because that's where all of this great information and, upcoming and previous events are all on there, and all of the different recordings. And over on YouTube, I'm on Elaine O'Rourke Yoga Ostomy IBD, and on Instagram, OstomyIBDlife. And if you have been tuning in, you will know that for most of the weeks in April, I've been doing 15 minutes of yoga movement on Thursdays at 9 o'clock. Now, that's East Coast time, 9 to 9:15. This Thursday is the last week, so do join me, and that will be via Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And one more thing, if you want to pop over to my website, you can download my free guide, 3 simple ways to eliminate fears about your ostomy. And if you have IBD, I have another guide called 5 Mistakes Even Well-Informed People Make. So let me bring on Alicia and bring her into the stream. Hey, Alicia.
Hi, thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here and talking with you and sharing some information about Girls with Guts.
Yeah, an amazing organization, and you can see there the website that you can go over to check them out is Girls with Guts. Really easy to remember, girlswithguts.org. And on social media through Facebook and Instagram, it's at IBD Girls. All right, so you can see that across the screen there. So take note, and I will put it in the notes afterwards as well. All right, so Alicia, first of all, so you're the president of Girls with Guts. That is huge, and I know that you've tons of people that follow on the page and that are also have been at the many different retreats and offerings that you have. But first of all, can you tell us what your history is with IBD or with ostomies, if you don't mind sharing that?
Sure. Yeah. So I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis when I was 14. It was very abrupt. Even though I was symptomatic my entire life, my entire childhood, I had stomach issues, bleeding. Looking back now, I definitely had IBD my entire life. But yeah, so I was diagnosed at 14, and my diagnosis, as soon as it started, it was very sort of traumatic. And we went right into surgery, right into the J-pouch surgeries. I had issues with rectal vaginal fistulae. Eventually, when I was 22, I was re-diagnosed with Crohn's disease, put on medication for proper treatment. And so I have an ostomy right now that will be made permanent eventually. But yeah, so I have a long, complicated history with IBD. I don't know how much detail you want, but yeah, so I'm one of you guys for sure.
Yes, and I forgot to say at the start there, I also, if you've been tuning in, you know that I have had Crohn's disease. I had Crohn's disease from my early 20s. I've had my ostomy now for 16 years permanently. But I didn't have it when I was younger. So how can you just maybe share with us how that was, going through that as a teenager?
Yeah, my diagnosis was the summer right before I was starting high school. So navigating that like age range and also having to miss the first half of my first year of high school, it was very depressing. It made me feel different than everyone else. And then I started school in January with an ostomy. I had this new diagnosis. It was all very hard and stressful to deal with at that age, for sure.
For sure. And I think this is so important to, if you're watching this, so there's the physical, right? That is hard enough, dealing with all of the bathroom stuff, dealing with having an ostomy, dealing with being sick all the time and having no energy. But then on top, as you said, the depression, feeling like you're missing out, the anxiety of, oh my God, am I going to make it to the bathroom? So there's that huge component, which, luckily there is more dialogue about it now, but often when you're going through it, it can seem so embarrassing that you don't want to tell any of your friends. So it also, would you agree, feels kind of isolating and a lonely journey?
Yeah. When I was diagnosed, there was not much in terms of resources. So it was like me and my parents wading the waters, trying to figure out like what this all meant for me at that moment, and then also in my future, and just trying to find ways to cope. It was really difficult.
Yeah. And I feel, now there are more resources out there, but still, I feel it's so important for people to be able to ask for help and to get support, and to know that, mentally and emotionally, that is huge. So we have the physical stuff that's going on, but the toll that it also takes in other areas of your life, and even confidence and how you feel about yourself is really, I think, even it's just as much as the physical. So then, with this is what I love with Girls with Guts, is that it's such a supportive organization. Can you tell me how you got involved with Girls with Guts?
Yeah, so as the years went on, there were slightly more resources than when I was diagnosed. And there was a website called jpouch.org. And I met the founder, Jackie, on jpouch.org. And she was one of the youngest on that forum. And we connected. And, when social media was a thing, we were friends on social media. And so she was posting about this meetup with a bunch of different IBD bloggers. And they met up in Chicago, had a weekend together. There was like such a large following of that weekend because that was like something people weren't doing. And it was like a miniature retreat that sort of initiated this larger idea about Girls with Guts. And after that weekend, she realized how great the response was and thought that, Girls with Guts should be its own entity where we connect people and have this community. And so she was posting about hosting this retreat, which was a very small retreat of 30 women in Michigan. And she reached out to me. I had gone to school for film. And she reached out to me and asked if I would like to come and film that retreat. And I was like, oh, absolutely. Like, sure, I'll get there however I can, not realizing that it was a 12-hour bus ride to get there. And I had just graduated college. I had no money, but I got on that bus because I was so curious about how this would be. And I had not met another person at that time who had IBD. So I was like, I have to go. I can't say no to this opportunity. So I, got on a bus, went out to Michigan, filmed that retreat, and met some of the most amazing people that I still know to this day. That was in 2013. And after that retreat, she asked me to join the board of directors as the director of multimedia. So from that point on, I was doing social media and the video work at those retreats annually. And when she stepped down in 2017, after having been involved for so long, I was like, oh, absolutely. I would love to step up as president. I can't see myself not having Girls with Guts in my life. And I want to continue this journey on. So yeah, I've been involved since 2013, and it's probably my biggest passion in life.
Oh my God, that is fantastic. So really you've been there since the start.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God, that I didn't realize all that.
Mhm.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about what Girls with Guts does?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Girls with Guts supports and empowers women with IBD and ostomies, and we do this through a variety of online and in-person programming. We try to make sure that we balance the online and in-person programming so that people who, are slightly more able-bodied than others, there's such a spectrum to this disease that we want to make sure that we create that sense of home and community across the board. So, we have a private online forum, Facebook forum, where you can ask anything, talk about anything that is concerning to you, if you have an upcoming surgery and you need advice on what to pack, things like that. That's one of our biggest and most popular resources. We also, as I mentioned, host retreats. We host 2 newbie retreats a year, which have been postponed to 2022, but we will be back with those, I promise. So look out for those applications. But those retreats are sort of similar to that first retreat where we try to have a smaller group of women and the focus is more on bonding. And those are free. You just have to get there and there's an application process. And we also have one larger annual retreat that's open to anyone. There is a registration fee, and these ones usually have more of a theme or a focus. So body image, intimacy, mental health, and we try to bring practitioners and have workshops and bring speakers in so that we could bring the resources to those who may not have those. And we move those around the country so that everyone has a chance to join in, participate if they would like to.
Yeah, and there was great. So the one I was on was 2019, and we're in Colorado, and that was really fun. So that was my first experience being at a retreat. And as I said at the start, I was privileged enough to be a guest speaker and to teach yoga at it. And it was so fantastic, just all of these women coming together, different age groups. And what was great is, you have the breakout sessions, there's a theme, there's movement, and then there's all these other fun activities, which I feel is just so great for that bonding and for women to be able to come together and talk about everything, all the different things that we go through that are similar, yet we're all having a bit of a different experience with it. So Alicia, what's the age range, or, when can people, what sort of age range of people, because when I was there, it seemed, a broad range, but what's the speculations for that?
Yeah, so we are 18 up, but we have people 18 to 70 plus. There really is no age with IBD. I mean, we have that common bond. So, somebody who's 18 connecting with someone who's 50 at the retreats, and there's no barrier there. Once we meet up and talk about all of this in person, there's just that instant connection and bond.
Exactly, because there's that common denominator. And I
Yeah.
think it's also great to, on the retreat, to be able to talk with different people, hear different experiences, because I found it to be a very, insular world to be in. There's not that many people outside of your family that you talk potty talk with. You get a group of us together and it's just
Great.
everything goes. You can ask, you learn from people. I mean, I learned all sorts of things, and you realize like sometimes, it can be, depressing, and you're just going through your own symptoms, and then you meet someone else who's going through what you're going through or even worse. And then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe. For me, it's always the reminder that some people are suffering so much, and it can give me then the appreciation. Well, I'm always so appreciative that I'm really healthy these days, but just to give you that, like, oh my God, that extra bit of empathy for other people and to be supportive, to come together like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know this year it's still online for the virtual treat, and I'm delighted I'm going to be teaching yoga at it again and doing some emotional freedom technique, I think, on one of the days, some tapping stuff. And so I know this year theme is about mental health, which is so important, especially with everything that everyone's been going through this past here. So when is that retreat? If you want, and if people want to get involved and participate in it, how do they get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So this will be our third virtual retreat. It is May 21st to May 23rd. Yeah, and it is just our way to bring some of our retreat feeling into the virtual world, since that's what we have to do right now. Anyone is free to participate. All of our sessions, our breakout sessions, will all be on Facebook, in our private Facebook forum. All of our speaker sessions will be on our Facebook page. It's open to anyone. There's no cost. And you can read about our speakers and our schedule on our website, and then it's /2021 Virtual Summit. But we have everything up on there right now. We're going to do a craft. We have about 5 or 6 speaker panels booked. And we also send out swag bags at our retreats. So we're going to be sending out 200 of those, to just give a little piece of Girls with Guts retreat feeling.
Oh, cool. I know I got my Girls with Guts pen here. I'm sporting one of the t-shirts from a previous one. I know you got your t-shirt on too. These are not available right now. They're all sold out, but I know you'll have stuff in the future. But cool. I love the new logo, the new logo, Girls with Guts logo. So, if you are fundraising is a huge part. You're a nonprofit organization, so you rely on support from other people. And if you're watching and you're able to make a donation, you can go over to the girlswithguts.org and donate there. Is that the easiest way?
Yeah, I would say that's the easiest way. Or we're very active on Facebook. That's our main platform. You could start a birthday fundraiser. We appreciate any donation that comes in, and it goes right towards our programming. So
yeah, and as Alicia said, the retreats are free. That's an amazing opportunity. So if you are able to donate, please do. It's such a worthwhile cause, and and follow them. So you can go onto Facebook under @IBD Girls, Facebook and Instagram. But as you said, most of the stuff is up through Facebook. So if anyone has any questions, post them up. I'll check in there in a minute. But I also know that any questions and comments, give us the thumbs up. Let us know that you're out there watching. But I also know that you have supply donation, that people can donate supplies. Is that still something that is up and running?
Yeah, so we partner with a couple organizations, one of them being Kindred Box. So we usually direct people to Kindred Box to donate any ostomy supplies. She does an amazing, amazing job at distributing those to those who need it.
Okay, great. And I know that's also over on girlswithguts.org. You can go and see where that is on the page there. And then I presume you're always looking for volunteers and people to help out. Is that right?
Yes. We have several volunteer positions and one board position open on our website right now. We are in desperate need for someone who does social media. So if you do social media out there and would like to help us, that is our most desired position right now. I'm still doing a lot of it. I wear many hats in this organization. And yeah, so if you'd like to get involved, you can go to our website. It's under our Get Involved tab. All the applications and more information about those positions is up there.
Yeah. And, unless you're doing social media, you have no idea. It takes a lot of time. So that is always appreciated. Any help with the social media stuff, we always appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then anything else, Alicia, about how people, actually, what I wanted to ask you was, so Girls with Guts provide so much support and empowerment for women going through IBD and ostomies. So where do you draw your inspiration from to keep going every day? Because you work your regular job and then you put this hat on. So where do you get your inspiration and your strength from?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I was diagnosed, there weren't a lot of people like me to look up to, and there weren't a lot of resources where, I felt connected to other people or like could ask the questions I wanted to ask. So for a long time, I didn't have answers to, you know, some of the most basic questions and like ostomy tricks, and like my bags were always falling off, and there were things that it would have been so much easier had I had something like Girls with Guts, the community of Girls with Guts. And so my inspiration really comes from the idea that we are able to give that tiny piece back to the community in all the ways that we do. And so, you know, my inspiration is being that sense of support for somebody like me who is looking for it.
Right, that's brilliant. And you know, sometimes I think sometimes when we're trying to think, okay, where am I going to get my strength to get through today, is it's not in the big things, it's the small little steps, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, when you're ill, even to get up to go to the toilet can just drain you completely. So setting just, you know, small little goals for yourself. Maybe it's like, okay, I'm gonna get up today and actually put my clothes on.
Right.
Or, you know, what is something that you enjoy doing, and try and do that. You know, just pick one thing that's going to bring you a few moments of joy in your day. Can just add so much, you know, can give you that sense of hope. Or being, you know, listen to these days with podcasts, you know, putting on some inspiring podcast, or, you know, just think of small little things. I'm all about the little steps.
Yeah.
That's where we make, you know, when we set goals that are too big, then it becomes overwhelming. So just small little things that can make a difference to your day. And if you're watching this and you feel like you don't have much support around you, ask for help. You'll be surprised how many people out there are willing to help you, but don't realize that you need help, or that you're struggling, or that you can, you know, get involved and get onto the Girls with Guts Facebook page and find support there, you know, ask questions, you know, those, you know, anything goes, which is I think, really important to know for people as well.
Absolutely.
So anything else that you want to share about Girls with Guts, or about what you're up to at the moment?
Not that I can think of. I mean, our virtual retreat is coming up, so we are heavily still planning that. But I want to get as many people involved who want to join in on those sessions. Like Elaine said, our focus is on mental health, which is really important, especially with COVID and everything. And so we just want to offer some support in any way that we can that weekend.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And again, the dates on that are
May 21st to the 23rd.
May 21st to the 23rd. And I think I'm doing yoga either, oh gosh, I have it written down. So I think maybe on the Sunday. No, maybe it's the Saturday. I can't remember, but it's on the schedule. I have it written down, don't.
Yeah, you can find the schedule on our website, because I'm blanking on that too. The schedule is quite large right now.
Yeah. And it's wonderful. As you said, there are the different breakout sessions and, you know, different activities, which are really fun as well. So I'm just going to pop over and see if there's any comments, or if anyone has any questions for Alicia. Let me see. I'm not seeing any particular comments, but you can also, if you're watching this on the replay, you can post up questions or comments, and I'll get back to you, find out any answers necessary for you. Leonora is posting up that thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this in so you can see it as well. Thank you. For me, it is hard to ask for help. Yes, I feel that. I don't want anyone to know that I have an ostomy. So, you know, that is something that a lot of people go through. I was myself didn't really tell anyone besides friends and family. But, you know, I think as you become more comfortable with it, and more comfortable around your ostomy yourself, then it becomes easier to share with people that you're comfortable with sharing. You know, to this day, I mean, I'm doing a lot more public stuff now, but, you know, there's still, you know, I don't go into a yoga class and say, oh, hey, I have an ostomy. You know, there's no need to do that. But, you know, it is also helpful for other people to know what you've been through. And you never know who else has an ostomy. because a lot of people don't talk about it. So I feel the more that we feel comfortable about speaking up, that it in turn can help someone else, or it will, or someone you're talking to might go, oh my God, my cousin has an ostomy, or they might have a bit more of an idea then about what it entails. Because it's that unspoken thing. It's, you don't necessarily see it from the outside, but it is a hard thing to deal with. It is a physical thing that we are dealing with.
Yeah,
that needs a lot more attention.
absolutely.
Yeah, so thanks, Lenora. We're there for you. Check out the Girls with Guts page. All right, Alicia, I think we've covered everything for today. So thank you so much for coming on and talking with us about Girls for Guts, and thank you for everything that you do for this fantastic organization. And I will really look forward to being part of the retreat in May. And then, as I said, remember, next year I hope we will all be getting together. So keep an eye out about the in-person retreats in 2022. My sister is posting up something. Let me see what she has to say here. She's saying, remember how long, thank you, Janine. She's saying this to me. Remember how long it took you to come out about your ostomy? I know. So my sister is also a GI nurse, an endoscopy nurse. And she says, I know my patients really benefit from talking to people who know and understand. When I share your story, it means a lot to them as they can relate. Thank you, my darling sister, for that reminder. Yeah, it took me years to tell anyone. I had Crohn's disease for 13 years, and I told no one. My family, my sister knew because I was living with her. But I didn't even tell my parents for the first couple of years because I didn't want to worry them. I didn't tell any friends. Most of my friends only knew when I ended up almost dead from Crohn's disease and in the hospital and getting an ostomy. So, it is a sort of silent disease that doesn't get talked about because I feel it is embarrassing for a lot of us. So the more that we talk about it, the better it is for others to be able to come out and talk about this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Any other words of wisdom, Alicia?
No, I think you covered it all. Thank you so much for having me on.
You are welcome. I'm just going to wrap up here with everyone. Thank you, Alicia, and I will see you in a moment. So everyone, this was great, and thank you for joining us here this evening. Girls with Guts, check out the website girlswithguts.org, and on Facebook at IBD Girls, and also on Instagram at IBD Girls. If you can help out in any way, then please get in touch with them. They're always looking for help, and if you can donate, even better. And then in the meantime, I will be back next week live at 5. I'm so excited for next week as well. Ciara Donlan, the founder of Thea Healthcare, is going to be on, and they have some great new ostomy products, briefs, and also I'll tell you about it next week, but I'm really excited about what they have to offer because their products are amazing and super comfortable. So tune in next week, and remember, just pop over, give me a like over on Facebook. I'm on OstomyIBDlife, and over on Instagram on OstomyIBDlife also. And if you want to watch any of the previous episodes, just pop over to Elaine O'Rourke Yoga Ostomy IBD on YouTube, and you can subscribe there. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week live at 5, or you can join me anytime on the replay. All right, take care. Bye-bye.